Hey, buddy, you done yet? I need some content. What the fuck happened here? Shut the fuck up and let me show you. I have found the...
It's like that over-demanding parent that expects to have their kid get a job as a doctor and having a rich fucking slut as a wife.
Ah! Man, that's the most unrealistic dream I've had to this date. Anyways, guess I should get my goals sorted. Ever since I got this house through my negotiations. Hi, is there a place to get a drink around here? Ah, poor person, get away from me! Okay, so let's recap. I woke up in the woods, no memories, then I had to painfully walk all the way from here to this city. I think it was Feral City? Past probably doesn't matter. I could sort that out later. I need to find out what comes next. Well, after a shower, obviously. God, that walk got me smelling dead. Fine, I'll be out in a sec. Hello? Hello? I swear when I grabbed whoever was knocking. Huh? Of course! Why wasn't it obvious? I know what I should be doing. Once upon a yesteryears ago, Sonic was running around Green Hill Zone, just vibing, then suddenly Satan saw and thought, "Did I catch you having fun?" Then took him away for the sins he committed. So meanwhile in the future, Tails was getting Sonic to follow him to reveal they planned a surprise birthday party. How old is Sonic? They are all just chilling, Vector consuming mountains of glizzies effortlessly, Amy getting friend zoned, not by the writers this time. It's all a ball. Oh hey. Anyways, show's over. And so is the party. Meet the Time Eater, who takes Sonic's friends away, not having any of it, so he tries to solo that thing, and rightfully gets smacked for his efforts, dumbass. Waking up, he finds himself in the Gooner Void, full of milky white voidness to ever have void the void. In the distance, he finds Green Hill Zone, goes through Memory Lane, and frees Tails, who does not remember Green Hill Zone. Which no shit, bucko. You weren't in Sonic 1. Until later releases. With not much lead, our Knight of the Wind and his friend Tails spot chemical plant in the distance. He decides to go there, then after a bit, Sonic goes there. Or the other Sonic. You know what I mean. Sonic and Tails explore chemical plant, have deja vu, then leave. Really eventful, Truska. They then free Amy. And just to save myself time, after the 2 acts are done, you free a friend after completion. Depending on who you are, they can even comment towards either classic or modern. I chose classic for this era because I wanted Knuckles to insult me. Eventually, Sonic and Sonic enter the room to the first boss and finally meet each other in a worthwhile way, because now they are aware of each other's presence. Well, not classic. He only knows after he leaves that boss gate, which Sonic got locked out of before soloing the Death Egg robot in 2 seconds. Oh, and after Classic beats Eggman, he gets kidnapped by the Time Eater. Yes, it is very obvious where we're going from here. Sonic reunites with Sonic and Tails. No clue when he got woken up, but he's there now. This does bring up a good question, however. Was Classic Sonic from Sonic 1 since we started in Green Hill Zone? Or was he revisiting somewhere after Sonic 2? It confuses me. The game then sort of is just this. Sometimes having a cutscene after some levels, some being about the Time Eater, even if I'm pretty sure the player could piece together the Chaos Emeralds can kill the Time Eater. Some cutscenes show interactions between our characters. A lot of just freeing Sonic's companions after getting a comment from them, etc, etc. It makes sense since I am pretty sure it's just an anniversary title meant to go through memory lane rather than something in depth like that. This is more so about the gameplay of boosting through places like Sky Sanctuary rather than some deep shit with the story. So just go through levels, free friends, be reminded to a somewhat annoying degree that the time meter is doing damage to the world. I got that already, bucko. Eventually get to the Egg Dragoon, beat Eggman, he gets taken by the Time Eater's goatsy hole, get to the Time Eater boss fight, and would you look at that, Eggman and Eggman were behind it all. So after the events of Sonic Colors, Eggman was left stranded in space, then eventually encountered the primordial form of the Time Eater, learning of its time erasing abilities, going towards it and taking it for himself. But how does an egotistical madman scientist do such a task? Why, getting himself from the past, of course. Sonic and Sonic try to take them on, get squished, some friends' motivation lines. Live and learn, Sonic. Sonic goes super, defeats Eggman. Bam, the world is restored. Shadow and Silver got forced dragged into Sonic's birthday, by the way. Hope they did have plans beforehand. Knuckles gets smacked into a tree. Tails asks the deep questions about rings. Sonic tries to do a homing attack to impress modern Sonic. Their portal arrives. Sonic lights to Sonic. Bing bang boom. Sonic Generation's done.
The backbone of any game would be its gameplay. The story doesn't carry a game far enough in this corner for my reviews.
Hey yo, Future Star here, outside of the review bullfuckery. So I brought this up during your stream, and for some reason my friends still insist on bringing up this topic. But it's really not that deep, bro. I just brought that up because people are like, oh yeah, the Sonic story, it's fucking phantasmical, fucking beautiful. But when it comes to me, I just want a Sonic game that checks all my gameplay boxes. And as of the time of me recording this bit of dialogue, I wouldn't say it reaches there yet. We're getting close. I think we're almost there. But when it comes to it, it's not. And I just had to deal with that I've been had to deal with the gameplay loop not getting there for so long. And for some reason, people are just content with, the story's great. I don't care. I just want a game with a solid gameplay loop. And I get it, visual novels exist. They can do their own thing. This was just mostly because of Sonic. I realize this now, and I'm just here to correct that. Not to mention, by the time of me recording this, I have played games with very in-depth stories that are, quite frankly, beautiful. Like Metal Gear Solid 2, Resident Evil Requiem. God, that's Game of the Year right there. And that's just that. Anyways, so anytime I bring up the gameplay is more important, just note this is me referring to Sonic series in particular. It's just weird how my friends kept bringing this up off screen and shit, as if this is like a ride or die question, man. I just don't get it. Anyways, back to the review.
So, we shall take on this topic with absolute certainty, for this matters most for the score. A lot of people complain about no minimum base gameplay and blah blah blah, but let me tell you something, this dude can still go fast. When you master the art of the crazy boost the spin dash provides, then combine it with the ramps within certain levels for him, then you shall see the beauty he can provide when it comes to going fast. And high, he can really go up in the air. Also 9 times out of 10 he has a better level thing compared to his modern counterpart, so that's a plus. Say it with me, everybody. This is the best modern boost level system. Sonic Colors? More like no colors. Sonic Unleashed? Put that guy on a leash, he's kind of freaky. This is the most balanced and reasonable the boost system has gotten. It does not overwhelm the player, and has the ring counts towards your boost meter. So yeah, we stay winning in Generations. Would it be rude to say Sonic Forces Supersonic better? Sonic Generations Supersonic is very powerful, don't get me wrong. But that ring count goes down as fast as a Sonic Forces level is played. The only way to get a fraction of use is to get like 100 rings, otherwise you will lose it in a few seconds. Doubly so if you are a boost spammer, since that for some reason boosts the rings going down. It's very lame. No, it's not lame? The levels. Why did I say it like that? The Sonic Generation stages can be best classified as a fun rush throughout Sonic history, with very creatively remixed levels. Remixed enough to refresh your trip down memory lane with a fresh coat of paint. But what are the zones included with this package? Well, let me tell you about these eras. The first zone, but with both classic and modern Sonic. Well, I think classic is fine enough. Modern Sonic solos that bitch. With stuff like the giant fish rail grind segment, the wall jumping, that destroyable bridge. What's not to love? This is where that two-tailed freak was probably born. Ah yes, Chemical Plant. The zone that people always point out when it comes to the paranoia of drowning in these games. Even though you barely spend time in the toxic waste here. Not to mention that was Labyrinth Zone, you idiot. I don't even want to think about trying those classic games again. Especially Sonic 2. It does feel quite fun to pull off not swimming during classic Sonic stage. And Modern's is pretty sick too. Really shines more aspects of being in a real chemical plant. And I should know, I was born in one. I think. I can't remember where I came from. Anyways, yeah, good zone. The modern theme is kind of overrated though. The one from Sonic Mania Chemical Plant Act 2 solos it. Ah yes, the afterlife. I didn't feel much for this level. And for some reason it keeps kicking my ass when I'm modern Sonic. I have lately been popping off on the classic level though. So good job, Midget Sonic, you got one. Know what? After playing this game enough times, I think I am confident to say this is my favorite of all levels. The classic Sonic theme, solo stuff like classic City Escape. This level is also very fun to speed through. Then we have Modern, which has the great set pieces of the original, with enough to set it apart from the original in a breath of fresh air. Give me a new life, truly. So yeah, good job Speed Highway. If I said anything bad, Sonic fans would kill me. Well, joke's on you. I am Sonic fan number 4557, and I think City Escape is fine. Not as peak as before, since I've seen it used to hell and back with marketing enough to not vibe with it as much as back in the day when I first saw it long ago with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube. Don't get me wrong though, the level is very solid to speed through. Just more so my perspective upon City Escape lately outside of this game. This level is the kind of level where the bubble shield truly shines, and is also a pretty good remix from the original level. They unfortunately left that 3-pathway thing in though, when we all know the cart route is objectively the best route, while the turtle route is just lame. Fuck you, turtle route. They took all the trash of the original out, now it's pretty solid when in Modern. Especially during the mod speed section. That's how you do it! Also, the tornado section inside the classic act is weird. It's very weird. Sometimes it spawns and kills me, or sometimes it's this run where it doesn't appear. Which was baller to have happen for once. Overall, for some reason I started to fumble the modern era stages around this, so sorry for the IGN reviewer level gameplay from time to time. But yeah, guess I wish Unleashed had a rep from something else or something. I guess Rooftop Run is good enough. Okay, don't get me wrong, this level has a lot of fans, so picking it was reasonable. But you cannot tell me Aquarium Park would have not been more beautiful to look at in this engine. Also these platforms, yeah, I don't got a problem with these platforms normally. But fuck them this run, my god. I was debating between fusing these with the main bosses, but know what? Metal Sonic is just a character I will always respect the most out of the series cast of rivals, so he, and unfortunately the other two, will get special treatment. Now, if there's anyone that I feel should get more love within the grand cast of Sonic characters, it should be my boy Metal. A robot designed by Dr. Robotnik, has more banger themes under his belt, to me anyways, music is quite a subjective topic, but I am defensive for metal, so screw you. Was able to overthrow Eggman, then trick the Sonic heroes into letting him gather data and shit to become the Metal Overlord and all that. The OG of OG fakers. And with this, I must say that its boss fight is... well, it's okay, it's basic, but still cool enough for me to like it. Classic enters the scene, running like he do, then Metal dashes in. We got that kick-ass start of Speedway Japanese theme kicking in. After like 3 bops, he dies. Don't diss my boy! Best rival boss fight, screw you all, 100 out of 10, we glaze metal proudly here. I feel nothing towards Shadow's character. I guess it's neat that you got 1 orb this time around. But I still overall destroyed you. So really not much to them. Trunks cooler. Anyways, it was fine. About as average as Shadow was. It was... I got so good at these fights that they're nothing to me now. It's kinda sad.
Ah, I'm sorry. I didn't get that memo. I beat you every time. No, seriously. We beat this guy every time. It's like it's our job or something.
With every game comes the big bads of their title. Mario has Bowser. Pac-Man has the Ghost. The Villager has Depp. Life gives me depression. And Sonic has a giant talking egg. Well, that and basically the equivalent of semi-gods, but you know, semantics. That is to say, this is a segue into the boss fights for this game. Let's go! This is a 1-2 you dead scenario. 1 is 2 bumps to the ass. 2 is 1 or 2 fuck-ups that get him to hit the bombs. Then he dead. Dead as hell. It's shockingly easy looking back. And it's kind of funny in a way. But overall it's... yeah. God, I have struggled to have a perfect run with Perfect Chaos until this point. In fact, I am so proud of how perfect enough this run is. You shall now get it at 2 times speed. Remember when I was funny? Me neither. It was cooler to fight this as the Werehog, so instead of talking about this, I think it's about time for a change of pace. Collecting rings is quite easy in the 2D section, but while there you get a lot of them complaining that I'm not swapping to the 3D area. Shut the fuck up, there's like fucking homing missiles like you said in the last 50 times. Shut up, I'm trying to avoid it. I'm trying to be strong enough, come on. It's like, fuck you, I'll fight that egg bastard when I feel like it. I just want to prepare. Man. Anyways, yeah, it's fairly simple. Not much else to it, rather than those annoying voice clips.
Looks like a homing shot. Be careful, Sonic.
Looks like a homing shot.
Be careful, Sonic.
Looks like a homing shot.
Please be careful, Mr. Sonic. Looks like a homing shot. Be careful, Sonic.
Wait. Oh, there are some things I forgot. Whoop. Okay, so what the hell is this thing? Oh, nice song. Yep. Oh yeah, indeed, truly are. Yeah, that's Pinball. I really wish these could force me to do more. Doing a bare minimum of 1 to get the key feels like I am skipping some things.
Actually, it's fucking 1 per act. Like, you got to do 1 gate for Green Hill, 1 gate for Chemical Plant. Just felt like fucking fixing that. That's the end of this segment.
Yep, it's a trophy room. Yes, I entered every single code painfully to show you it all. You are welcome. That'll be $50 for entrance, and an extra $500 for viewing. Otherwise, I will take your bloody eyes. Yep. Why is this a segment?
Hey, Sonic! Enjoy your future! It's gonna be great!
Fatality.
The gameplay of Sonic Generations is a solid time. Kinda wish we had a longer length to the duration, however. It feels like it goes by too quickly. Like you just bit only a bit of a hot dog. Still, I would not say I have wasted time. About worthy of a 4 out of 5. Was a fun distraction.
Wow. Who knew talking about a game for the internet from an unknown source would be kind of fun? Except not knowing who sent it. That is still pretty concerning. Oh well, potential stalkers aside. This hotspot's got any other games? Sonic Forces? What's that about? Well, that was certainly a game. Not exactly worse. Yeah, you know what? Nah, game of the year. Seriously? It's like nearing evening. Can't this wait? Okay, this is getting really annoying. What door knocker is feeling the urge to punch on my door? Wait, what's that? They made a portable version of Generations? Damn, didn't know. Whoever the Sonic fan is certainly wants me to know of the existence that is this series. Well, not gonna pass this up. Free game's a free game. Guess I'll see what this is about. Okay, so literally no clue why I had this section here. It's pretty much the same story as the main Sonic Generations. Sonic's birthday, time eater eats all, yada yada. Only difference is Sonic's friends were late to the party, so it's just you and Tails talking after every level. And there's no voice acting, which made sense, just some sound bites followed by text boxes. Sorry Twitter users, I know you all can't read. All the story beats are here, even the Secret Rings Sonic Colors reference. There's no one there at the end to motivate Sonic to become super, he just does it for Tails' sake, which wicked bro moment. Also, since you end up learning to homing attack in the game, Classic instead shows Sonic he's learning to boost, which I bet terrifies Classic purists. But I am more concerned about how the Genesis would handle him just boosting through every zone, demolishing every enemy in his path. But aside from that, it really is the same. Makes me wonder why I added this section. Now, while the 3DS could do some sick stuff like Resident Evil Revelations, I don't think 3D Boost Sonic could easily fit on this thing. It would straight up explode your 3DS. So it mostly is a 2D experience with some short, simple enough 3D sections. Now, is it bad? No. But I guess I need to explain it more in depth than that. Alright, let's get into it. This does not lean on the crazy spin dash jump strap from the main Generations, but gets the Genesis physics a bit more accurate, so classic Sonic purists can shut up. Yippee! It's pretty good though, don't take it as a sign of me hating it. Besides, they'll find a way to complain because the game gives you a homing attack after the classic era is done. It reminds me how Sonic Generations modded classic Sonic to have a 3D camera, but if he spin dashed during it, the game would break. Wonder if he had the homing attack plus a proper spin dash, would it recreate an adventure feel? I guess if you want an adventure feel, you would just have to jump to the adventure games and not the classic games. But instead of that, we should jump to a modern kind of Sonic. I written this transition last, please give me credit. I really did now. The boost formula here is neat, but damn, as I played these levels, I couldn't help but felt like the boost meter drained a little too quickly. Sometimes I couldn't demolish all in my path because I have apparently used all of it. I'm not sure if it was to balance out the blue boost thing, where if you max out the thing, you get a boost that lasts as long as that meter is up, or what's up. That confuses me. Like how I written that. It's overall fine. Mostly felt like an overall 2D version of Sonic Generations original, but selective parts got tweaked with the DIMS flare. Like how the stages got bottomless pits. Woo! Nailed that transition. Despite this being Sonic Generations, the stages are actually mostly different. Well, I'll accept the first, obviously. Because Green Hill Zone is Green Hill Zone.
Green Hill's looking a lot more like Green Hill right now.
The first zone. At least it's portable though. It's very weird yet neat how classic Sonic's classic zones have layouts from their OG appearances. Kinda wish it has a remix element to it, but honestly it's trippy enough to be cool again. My Sonic has that neat section at the end with the giant tiki you gotta boost away from or you'll get crushed. That's a neat thing. Yeah. The concept of special stages in Sonic are the embodiment of evil. They are typically the spawn of Satan, driving me into an eternal spiral of agony. The damn half-pipe morphing into reality after mid-ass second game. Never truly having a moment of fun or peace when going down the toilet pipe of this half-pipe. And this! These special stages are just the Sonic Heroes special stages, but with less butter under the shoes of our character. The later ones feel painful, but it is perfectly completable. Weird times. Weird times. Still doesn't change the fact how the classic game special stages are specifically dog water mostly. At least it's a good thing I'm not reviewing the classic games. Moving on. Anyways, classic Sonic's level has some ups and downs, and the Mana has the same theme of that bizarre pinball minigame the main version has. Really weird. Okay, Sega. Listen to me, Sega. You need to make more music remixes of this zone more. You always go for the normie picks in terms of songs you've remixed a million times over the years. But man, Monarch Sonic's theme was bussin'. And I want more. I am not asking. Get to it. I've always been confused on why killer whales always hunt down this hedgehog. It's not as if he did anything, he's just casually running around the docks and then bam, destroying the docks just to eat him. Mother Nature's rude, man. Simple enough level, nothing noteworthy to comment upon. Dude, the classic Sonic theme fucking bangs! What doesn't bang is these bars to swing off of. This is so wonky. This is also filled with Gimp's favorite. Say it with me now. Bottomless pits. Weird how back then I died quite a bit, but now I kinda pop off. Especially for an underwater level. It could be worse. I could be in labyrinths. Ugh. I don't even want to finish that comment. Good level. The burst wisp is hell to use, and the final segment where you grind on rails avoiding the death could have been handled better, but what can you do? A very weird yet neat surprise for this version of Sonic Generations is the fact that the rivals went from regular boss fights to races apparently. Why did they do this? I don't know. But seeing these rivals in the acts they were slapped in is bizarre. My best super duper omega special boy Metal Sonic is racing you within Casino Night Zone. The weird thing is, when Classic Sonic gets his homing attack, this fight becomes trivial, which can be said about what happens to Classic Sonic's Classic Zones after you get that thing. But anyways, just like the original, be quicker than the mechanical lad, then you should win. And whoever loses will pay the 4 million ring bill owed that you skipped out on. You know, it's weirdly interesting. What if Sonic and Shadow raced on Radical Highway? There was multiplayer back in Sonic Adventure 2, but I don't remember if that was a stage or not. Guess we won't cross worlds for that till later. It is funny how Silver is up here in the overall friendly zone of Tropical Resort compared to the Flames of Disaster back in the future. Despite the look, he will give you a run for your money if you were even slightly zoned out, so watch out. The rivals remain the same despite the change in gameplay. However, the main boss fights are different. Except the timing, but you know, why would you expect it to be different? This is the 3DS version, dummy. Here they are now. Big Arms has one of the best remixes this series has ever had. And no, I will not argue, because I have one with this drop alone. But besides that, it's very easy, especially after Classic Sonic gets the homing attack. God, that thing's OP. Another solid remix, and this boss fight is great too. It remixes that good old BioLizard formula pretty well, with a fun but also somewhat clunky rise up to its pimple to finish it off. Good job, BioLizard. You should get that piss beneath you cleaned up though. The original boss fight was the most annoying and slow-paced boss fight back in Heroes. Well, in terms of main ones, the enemy round ones are kinda worse, but in comparison, the Egg Emperor is quite nicely paced here. With a kick-ass track, of course, but overall pretty good. Weird that it's in the modern era boss fights, but we only have one portable rep in this game, so this feels less questionable, clearly. This fight is instantly better for one reason. There is no radio yapping in my ears about homing shots. Yeah, that's it. The arm dodge is a bit annoying. A lot annoying. Never mind, I dislike this. If you were expecting this to be one-to-one with the original generations, then you're just out of your mind, the fuck? It isn't bad though, it has some cool exclusive content to it, some spice to the challenge, a more unique classic zone selection, well in my opinion, which is more important than anyone else. Some killer soundtrack renditions. Seriously, props to the team on this. Some weird choices though, like the very inconsistent modern zone selection with a Heroes boss fight, even though I'm like 99% certain that would be Dreamcast era. I don't think it's offensive though. And it is worthy of a 3.5 out of 5. A mostly solid way to translate Generations to the 3DS. I like it. Not as much as HD, but it has some good stuff about it. Once it's done though, you kind of seen it. Wait, how long have I been reviewing nothing but Generations? Okay, wow, I need to sort out some stuff about this house situation. I'll see you all next time. Bye. Man, I love the bargain bin. Now I can last a smidge longer. Well, while I painfully walk home, let me check gaming stuff. Interesting, blah blah blah. Wait, another version of Sonic Generations? Didn't I literally just review this? Why'd they just re-release this game? That's so weird. Wonder if the mystery friend is going to deliver me the copy or something. Oh wow! Talk about plot convenience. Thanks God. Wait, there's a note here?
To my lost buddy, find the truth beyond the walls of reality. We shall meet once you've discovered this. To my tormentor. And next, Polly.
Edgy. Well, that doesn't matter. I got a job to do, which is yet to get another review out for this generation's worth of Sonic Generations games.
Wanna go to Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut? Nuh-uh.
Hey! Well, this sucks. I just got this house, and we just had to have a room get engulfed in flames. Okay, maybe some Sonic X Shadow Generations will help me get my mind off this situation. Dear God, the money for repairs. So I know as soon as we boot up the game, Shadow's content is just really all over the place, really trying to guide you to play his thing. But give me a sec, I feel I need to talk about Sonic Generations.
Without the time stones?
Just like other properties, Sega has decided to re-release a game but bundle it with a new story sort of mode thing. Nintendo's done that. But with this game, we gotta address the elephant in the room, which is the rewritten stuff. All the dialogue has been touched up to be updated. This is thanks to the man named Ian Flynn. With this dialogue, we get a lot of references to past adventures, and stuff I assume was to establish a stronger continuity for the Sonic series. Games like Sonic Frontier started this trend with how much you just gotta know your history with this blue rat. The thing most people have a problem with is just how many references Flynn's writing could get to. And I got no room to judge. When I make scripts in spare time, we get a few references for pre-existing series. Only if it sounds good though, and it makes sense. And is it too close to another reference? No, my main problem when it comes to Flynn's writing is, well, the lack of cartoony side. We see this in the removal of Sonic holding Amy back, or Knuckles literally getting smacked into a tree by Amy. We sort of got an inverse of previous writing, with all the dialogue starting around colors to, I think, forces. Back then, we got too much try-hard attempts at humor, not much serious. Or if it did serious, it comes out of nowhere, mystifying me on what made them think the timing of some of these lines made sense, or how Lost World had serious stuff, but with the most cartoony music, throwing the mood clean off. In my eyes, for Sonic writing, there should be a fine-tuned balance between serious and cartoony Hedgehog. Take Unleashed. Even if Trip's Scooby-Doo-like antics seems weird, there are some times it does work, and it balanced all out with an endearing adventure to get Chip's memories back while restoring the world, all building up to Eggman Land, which is the most serious with how long it is, or the dumb tasks you may have to do in the PS2 Wii version. Aside from the writing, the gameplay is also weird. I had some insane bugs like this.
Whoa!
Or this. Or this. They removed the Sonic 1 port on this, I'm guessing to promote Sonic Origins. Thank God I don't need to review that thing. They also should have just scrapped the Casino Night Pinball. It feels as nothing as ever. They added Chow into the levels. I don't think they do anything. Probably an achievement. I don't feel inclined to find out. The drop dash from Sonic Mania was added for Classic and Modern. Modern basically gets jack shit nothing out of it. And it's not as good as the spin dash for Classic and Speed. It's also a thing to equip via the Omochao thing. Very bizarre. They swapped the X button activities like boost and spin dash to trigger. Have you ever spin dash with the trigger? Yeah. It fucking sucks. Meanwhile, X is also jump. I assume to recreate the Frontiers thing of, you know, homie attack button mapping. It threw me off, but I forced myself to adapt. It feels as if they put their efforts into everything aside from what would be worthwhile improvements, like making supersonic ring count in normal levels drain slower, and maybe some quality of life right into, you know, some of the slower missions. Like make that Rouge level of seducing robots get some animation speed up. Anything to improve that one's pacing. It just feels like nothing worthwhile to this side of the product. Is it playable? I guess. Will this replace OG generations? No. Hell, they didn't even add music to the jukebox to expand the selection of songs you could hear in levels. It's fine, just not what would be my vision of a more de facto edition of Generations. But this is one of two sides to this package. Let us dive into Shadow Generations. So my first review jumps a couple of games in this series, I get that, which clearly means you all will not know much contents going into this story. So, for all of you who live under rocks, so let me at least tell you a bit about Shadow and what leads up to here. Shadow the Hedgehog was created 50 years ago aboard the Space Colony Ark by a man named Professor Gerald, who sought to create the ultimate life form. Shadow was raised alongside his ailing granddaughter Maria. They had a very strong bond. The bond will not last, however, because she died by the military who sought to cover everything up and seal Shadow away. 50 years later, Eggman would wake him up in the events of Sonic Adventure 2, and he would be quite angry at the humans, and being haunted by Maria's last words, which he would later fully remember her last wish to defend her beloved planet and the people who lived there. Then he would die, stopping the Bio-Lizard, except not really, because Sega loved themselves the Prophet Shadow brought in, and revived him once again with not many memories in Sonic Heroes. Then it spiraled further in Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow the Hedgehog, the game, not the character, introduced Black Doom, which was apparently there for the creation of Shadow, and assisted by giving Shadow his DNA. I am not sure why Gerald was chill about an alien conqueror. I suppose making the unwanted pet that is the Bio-Lizard would make you numb to weird creations. Black Doom was hoping Shadow would be the vanguard for his invasion of Earth. But then Westopolis is a final story, and a shitty final boss later, he would defeat Black Doom in his game, and thus ended Shadow dealing with his backstory for a bit. It was a vibe. He was there, mostly teaming up with Rouge and Omega, which is where I hope we're going from here, because I don't want to really deal with his backstory. I think we should just move forward from that. But Sega then eventually thought, what if we re-release Sonic Generations but added a mode about Shadow dealing with his backstory? Which I rolled my eyes at, but it is the best in terms of all these. I'm not sure if I'm just a twisted guy or what, but if you kill off the character like Maria, which Shadow cared for a lot, then I think from a perspective of the story, you could have done more to make me, as the player, care. Back in Sonic Adventure 2, it was just like one scene unrelated from her death, and I just did not feel anything towards her or how Shadow felt. Sorry she didn't get the Fortnite dub, Shadow. The gunplayer just had a better aim. Then during Shadow the Hedgehog, we once again start by seeing her die, and we have levels where she joins you, yes. But they are the fucking worst levels in the entire game. Then we have the amount of inconsistencies with 10 routes that don't even connect in the final story, and they just repeat lines over and over. If I had to deal with her yapping about me killing a gun turret one more time, I will do a better job than the gun soldier that took you, bitch. But in here, she has enough lines to make her pretty endearing. She doesn't do repetitive things like in Shadow the Hedgehog. She's just a normal person who cares for Shadow with enough scenes showing so. all the way to the end, which is enough for me. That's about all I think for Shadow's backstory. I should mention, for this they released a 3-part animation for YouTube called Dark Beginnings, and while I could tell you the events in every detail here, that would take away from the animator's work, which I want to get seen, cause it looks amazing. You get some backstory things and what I like, Team Dark doing cool shit, it's great. The only things to take away from this is Shadow has reason to believe the Black Arms have returned, and goes with the rest of Team Dark to get a rocket to head to the Ark to investigate. I know some details are missing from this part of the script, like Gerald going crazy and all that, but I prefer you get a surface level dive with just enough context for the main story to make sense. Which, by the way, here we go! Let's get into that, starting now.
Hurry! You have to see this!
Our main game's story starts off with a flashback of Maria and Gerald awakening Shadow the Hedgehog. Then we go back to the present time. Shadow arrived to the space colony Ark to investigate an unusual biosignature detected by Gunn. Wait, what?
I already told you. Gunn detected an unusual biosignature aboard the Ark. I'm not leaving until I eliminate any possible threat.
I thought Dark Beginning...
I need a spacecraft to reach the Ark. I have reason to believe the Black Arms have returned.
Whatever, where are you in the game? Shadow is determined to find whatever threat appeared on the Ark, even if he agreed to go to Sonic's birthday after, which Rouge yaps to him about. Shut up, bitch. Oh, hey, the rating. Leaving Rouge's invite on red, Shadow dwells within the Ark, discovering the return of Black Doom, who has big plans, which obviously he will not spoil. But now that Shadow is aware, he won't stop till the job is done. So venture forth we must! After the level, we go deeper into the Ark and stumble upon the fake Chaos Emerald back from SA2 just sitting there. Which always confused me. Like, how did Tails exactly make a thing like a Chaos Emerald, but not? And that thing can do Chaos Control, which is how Sonic saved himself. So clearly these have pretty good power. What if he made 7 fake emeralds? Could they also give Sonic partial super form? What if Eggman got a hold of them? Could it be enough to take down Sonic? So many questions. So many answers I will not seek. Cause I do not care enough. Oh, and after grabbing it, the Time Eater event from Generations with the party occurs, which also drags him to the Gooner Coomer Wanker void of nothing but nostalgic level designs. Now this white space is more so designed like a Frontier's open zone, which is pretty vibing, so I won't complain. The difference to Sonic Generations progression is you don't free your friends. They are already out of the limbo statue state, which fair I suppose. I don't think Shadow and Warbot are friends or anything, or robots can be sucked into limbo. Act 2 introduces the Doom powers, by the way, and gives you access to the Doom Wings, which painfully grow out of Shadow's back and grants him the ability to fly. This may seem like a gameplay thing, but I promise these powers play to some story bits and bobs. Most of these mutuals of Shadow, again, don't offer much story-wise, except Rouge way off in the distance, but also a familiar ghostly face for Shadow. Maria and Gerald, but we'll get to them in a bit. 2 new Doom powers and a boss fight later, the Doom Moon cracks a bit, which gets the attention of Black Doom, or at least his eye. Fucking pussy. Next Sonic game should start with a serious final boss-like villain to throw us off. He's mostly vague, but his plans have been accelerated by the temporal anomaly, which is how all the Black Arm soldiers are up and back at it, I guess. We smack him a bit, but neither Shadow or Black Doom are ready for the climactic finale yet, so we shall push this fight to later. Take your time, Black Doom. Don't rush yourself, bro. 1 Doom power, Kingdom Valley, big encounter later, we enter Sunset Heights, and we begin to notice after he morphs the stage into Radical Highway that 1, he really loves Radical Highway, and 2, he is really liking our evolution, aka the Doom powers, which will make sense soon. After we leave Sunset Heights, we finally see Maria, who is running from the basic bitch soldiers. Shadow ain't having none of it. Seriously, his eyes are glowing red. Has some black liquidy aura coming from him. It's like those comments about evolution for Black Doom is meaning something. Microwave. Beep. Anyways, they reunite. It's a peaceful moment. Shadow's pretending he can save them, He runs off, telling them to find somewhere to hide. Huh. Why is Cheryl going too? Probably not. Another boss fight later, the Doom Moon cracks further, and Shadow begins to feel a connection between himself and the moon in the sky. Was I being too obvious? I'm sorry. Anyways, to get to the point, as I brought up, Black Doom gone up to Gerald and decided to help Jill because he was trying to develop the ultimate life form to help Maria in her sickness. Insane to think this old man was helping her the whole time in space, but guess that's why she was always excited to see Earth. The abilities were his design, for he wanted to create the ultimate warrior for him. They are so linked by blood. If Shadow gets stronger, so does he. Ultimately, to quote Gerald,
He will either take control of your mind and make you his ultimate weapon, or take over your body and be reborn in you.
we get yet once more a Doom power. Then a level later, we converge the plot into Sonic Generations with some witty reference banter with Sonic thanks to Ian Flynn Lockwood. During the fight, he was about to let his dark passenger take over, but it was enough of a distraction to just lose. Suddenly Rouge comes in yapping about losing the emerald, but it was the fake one from all that time ago. Do not worry, he will get Rouge to swap them later. I hope. I don't want to know what would happen if I did get that. Anyways, another boss fight later, we crack then and get more rage baiting from Black Doom and get info about how the white space time speed do hickey mabob to learn from last encounter. Or they literally could have been just he remembers Shadow the Hedgehog's events and leave it at that. Shadow is getting as mad as me about the Sonic Generations part of this product, but Maria comes in to calm down Shadow by reminding him why he was named Shadow. Which is corny as hell, but sure, it works.
Do you know why I named you Shadow? Because without light, there's only darkness. But a shadow will show you where to find the light. Do you understand?
Final Doom power, which was the first Doom power, but now we fully gotten powerful enough to handle it, I guess. The Doom is cracked, and we finally can enter the end game. Black Doom does another rage bait, but Shadow's certified mental plot armor MPA has activated. He has a final chat with Maria and Gerald, promises he will let go of the anger, but these final zones suck, so I will keep mine personally. Maria and Shadow's bond really is the best it has really ever been ever here, by the way. I can make jokes about Ian Flynn this, Ian Flynn that, but you did a good job here, genuinely. They both seem to actually care, rather than Maria being a dumb fuck NPC, so yeah, great glow up. The final showdown happens, Black Doom and Shadow at peak performance. Shadow ends victorious, however, because obviously, the fuck did you expect? There's no bad ending ever. He gets out of that Doom Moon, the defeat of Black Doom takes his powers away, even if I'm certain Sega will pull them out of their ass again someday because they say so. He finished right on time and gives the real emerald to Rouge for the old switcheroo, but he heads back to confront Gerald and Maria once more for a pretty good scene. Again, writing glow up.
Maria.
I'm okay. Really.
Professor, what's happening?
Without Black Doom's influence, the time anomaly is beginning to heal. We are returning to our own point in time.
I'll stop Rouge. Use Chaos Control. Stop this moment in time.
Shadow? No. I don't want to be frozen in one place in time. Besides, your friends need your help.
But you don't know what's going to happen.
I know I'll see you again. And if fate draws us apart,
They fade away, Shadow runs off, single tear flies off his face onto Rouge, ending Shadow Generations. Good story, honestly great. But good gameplay? I don't know. So let's get moving! Just like Chaos, control is key within Shadow the Hedgehog's gameplay style. Well, besides those games he was trashing. But those were just circumstances of bad luck within the world. And you know, we're in the locked-in Sonic Team era, so let us talk about how locked in they were for this one. Shadow is mostly like Sonic, but he has that same sort of combat edge thing he had at OSITs, but you know, quicker. And you can understand it easier. There's not much to him. Though I will say his boost meter goes down way too quickly compared to Sonic. I always feel I have some boost left over when I'm Sonic. But then over here in Shadow, I had a few instances where I just had to make do with the normal running without the boost. It was very strange. As strange as playing forces, but you can only walk. But Shadow in this game has a new bunch of powers to get through these levels. And yes, this is just a transition to it. Doom power time.
No!
The black arms within Shadow throughout his journey makes him awaken to all sorts of powers. Firstly, there is Doom Spear, which is just Chaos Spear, and I will probably just remember as Chaos Spear, because it is just Chaos Spear. Use it to launch Lightning Spear to disable enemies, pop balloons, kinda bad. Gets the job done. Next is Doom Blast, one of the best ones. You launch an enemy up into the air, then choose a direction to aim it at, then Shadow will Chaos Control over on there to stomp it. Or you can stomp earlier with B. It's very fun to use it for speed running. So, good job, Black Doom. I don't think I should compliment that guy. Third one is the Doom Surf. Hop into the water to start surfing on a black creature, and some wide twirly sidestepping while in it. It's pretty fun in the levels themselves. But man, Overworld collecting blows. He just keeps going past things. Am I too small of a hitbox? Like, bro, what's going on? Then Doom more.
Worst one.
Shadow keeps falling out of it, even if you go slightly off the path. Then you have to either fall and die, or find another orb to transform again. And walking that shit is so slow. Finally, the Doom Wings. It was introduced earlier, but I'm just gonna count it now since that's the order you find them in the overworld throughout the White Void journey. It's basically Shadow's super form, except he can get smacked like a hoe. And he can fly. And his ring count isn't as fast as Sonic. Doom Wings are fine in their introduction because you really couldn't fumble flying in 2D. 3D, well, there is one garbage level I dislike the most in this game, but I'll talk about it later. For now, they're overall fine enough, I guess. On one hand, people can complain about Shadow the Hedgehog's stage representation being non-existent in this game. On the other hand, thank God, no Westopolis for the millionth time. What was this transition for? Alright, stages. Yeah, let's talk about them. Man, Green Hill Zone's looking a lot more like... Okay, I'm fucking with you. This is honestly a very solid first level to set this tone with. Act 2 could probably use some more in the background. Feels as if not enough is happening back there. But other than that, very good. Though for some reason the remix sounds as if Mario hopped on Yoshi with the instrument choice at this part. This was always the level that felt like filler back in the days of Heroes. I still feel that way now, except you get goofy things with the big trains if you time your chaos control wrong. I like how we get to see that thing fall off at one point. That's a pretty neat little mix-up from the norm of this level. Being falling off the rails cause Sonic and the gang tied banana peels beneath their shoes that day on the GameCube version. What was I saying? Alright, fine enough level. I don't feel too strongly against it or with it. Just sort of there. Had to play this several times, felt conflicted. Now, firstly, I always thought, just like Rail Canyon, that Kingdom Valley was the filler sort of level for 06. Now, one of my early critiques was the lack of moments from Shadow's version of the level. I shall now put on my dunce hat. I forgot the fact of that water section being there. That was a neat little remix of the original, like how I hope Generations levels do it, be it Sonic or Shadow Gens. I still, however, stand with my take about the ending part of the level. If you were going to rip Sonic's portion with the Mach Speed section, then you could have included the part where he ran on the waterfall. I can understand changing the Mach Speed section in Crisis City on Sonic Gens. That was the worst one. But come on, man. That is the only highlight from the OG Kingdom Valley. Act 2 is fun too. Glad to have given it a second chance. I still don't consider it my top level of this game, but I do not dislike it as much as I did before. Good on ya. Alright, finally got voices. So excited to see what it offers. No one. You didn't disappoint. If people can be dumb and have Shadow the Hedgehog as their guilty pleasure game, then I have full rights to have this be my guilty pleasure game. Sunset Heights from Forces? Oh my god, it's peak! Yeah! Best level, no argument. Okay, I know most people do not vibe with this level, but I feel in terms of showing off Shadow's powers, this is the best. It has plenty of Doom morph action with a nice amount of Doom Spear, and Doom lasts a little less, but it's there. Then it's based off of Sonic Frontiers. That game is goated. Sure, they picked a weird and slightly iffy island, but at least I won't have to just randomly swap to 2D while trying to explore. The 2D sections are just naturally a part of the level's progression. I wouldn't say this is the worst level, to be honest. I can remember this one more than Rail Canyon at least. It's a good enough level. Just bad in the music department. Wait, what? What the fuck about the movie content? What? What was there a movie? So, before we witnessed the finale, I had no better place to slide this into. They added a level to promote the Sonic 3 movie. Fine movie, by the way. Weird in some scenes looking bad, but certainly the better of the bunch. But anyways, this is Tokyo. Just straight up Tokyo, okay. A single regular act where you play as Keanu's movie Shadow. The set pieces in this are quite nice. It's weird to see a level not based off a pre-existing level, but gotta cross-promote, I suppose. After you play it once, you've seen it pretty much. I don't personally get it, or why this Shadow could be in the normal levels. Pretty sure it could have just been a skin. And I get not getting Keanu to basically dub the entire game, but it's not as if Darius has original lines. Just put normal lines over the skin and call it a day. Overall, could think of other ways to spend my time, like getting to the final level to talk about it. Speaking of which...
I'll overcome every obstacle with this power.
Act 1 was one of my better runs of this level. Act 1 is friendly. Act 2, however... Fuck Act 2. All my homies hate Act 2. Times where you're stuck flying unaware that you are too low to reach the ring, and are left unable to correct due to the lack of platforms. These stone walls that zoom in towards you here with no way to dodge. These motherfucking enemies on these spinning platforms you have to time in a very specific way to get up, or you will not have enough height to hit the thingy to do so. I could go on, but I will leave it at this. Fuck Act 2. The big lad of SA2, the Geico Lizard. Gotta bring up that around the time Forces was nearing its release, I had a dream where for the Shadow DLC you fought the Bio Lizard marching through Green Hill Zone in a similar fashion to this with the bubble tentacles and all that. Needless to say, glad to see you exist in this new form Bio Lizard, even if it only felt like yesterday I saw you back in that 3DS version. Moment of silence for my boy. Because he could not stand a chance against the amount of locking in Sonic Team does nowadays. Huh, wonder what this boss is. Bio Lizard was pretty goated. How would they outperform that? Metal Overlord, my boy! Yeah! Peak fucking goated! Woohoo! Best boss, we will never go beyond this level of peak. Okay, but in all seriousness, very good boss. Shadow soloing the boss that took every team in Sonic Heroes, plus Sonic and his two orb friends is very funny, and a show of how much he grew in power over the years. Really makes modern Sonic fighting perfect chaos while not super seem adorable. The only thing I will miss is Super Sonic flying towards this beautiful beast. That's why I like Wyvern from Frontiers as much as I did. Super Sonic flying taking on a big threat that is also flying truly kicks ass. But this is still very good for what it is. Good job, Sega.
What is this? A seal of some sort?
Oh dang, the guy that doesn't exist anymore. And he is here to be the only really fine enough use of Doom Morph, because you don't hit any walls cause you to leave it early. It's fine enough. But legit Metal Overlord was the last boss fight, you cannot live up to it. Or Bio Lizard. Dang, you are too average compared to our big boys in this game. Still acceptable enough, I suppose. Just can't think much to comment about this dude. Well, except how Shadow dodged that stab attempt at the start. Man, Sonic, you have a skill issue, bro.
There is no future for you. Ever.
Okay, never mind. This is a lower point.
The time has come, Shadow.
Agreed. Time to sever this bond between us forever.
This is just Metal Overlord again. Sure, we have a new part of awkwardly using the Doom morph, but then the final face is just Metal Overlord, but you use the Doom wings. You're not cool, Black Doom. You're lame. You copycat meanie. Screw you. Lowest in terms of boss ranks. For this game, anyway. I explained my problems with Sonic Generations, my pros in Shadow Generations, but what do these pros and cons add up to? Well, if we take it into consideration, I think this game deserves a 4.5 out of 5. This is clearly a solid experience, I cannot deny that. But am I wrong to say it feels like something's missing? And I don't know what, but it feels as if a part of Sonic series has been missing for these last few entries. Is it the rewrite? Is it the Sonic Movie 3 DLC? I absolutely got no clue. It is an acceptable game experience, but I hope the next game catches the kind of vibe I'm thinking of. Till then, we'll just be waiting to find out. Gulp noise. Yeah, that's some good shit right there. God, I'm not gonna be able to afford for repairs. Hey, am I interrupting? Yeah. Is it done? How bad is the damage? It should be salvageable. That's not what I'm here about, though. Huh? Were you aware of a high-tech door behind the walls? Wait, what do you mean? I gotta get back to work. You could go downstairs to see for yourself. Wait, hold on a second. What the hell are they talking about? Okay, high-tech door. Where would that be? Oh! Find the truth beyond the walls of reality. Is this who's been giving me these games to begin with? Is this where he's been staying? Without paying rent? I just have to confront this. What the hell is going on? These halls go on for miles. Who is his friend? Seriously? I don't want to review anymore. Just want to figure out who's been behind this. Hey! Are you here? What did you mean by friends? Am I the friend? Huh? It's been a long time, my friend. And an even longer time. You monster! Whoa! Fuck! What are you doing? Wait, where the hell did he go? Where are you? Show yourself! Why are you doing this? You deserve this. I apologize, my friend. I know you remain within. Do not worry. The plans I got for you two will get you free. Let's go. I don't fucking know when, but it'll happen. At least before GTA 7 happens. Agreed? Agreed. Also, this is not a Da Vinci project. I still use the other project. I just want to make the to-be continue moment in here. Because things are... the PNGs work better out here, you see. Hope you enjoyed this awkward last moment, because I'm about to collapse after this for several years.